So thank you for joining me in our Ki Yoga room. I'm really happy to share this space with our guests from Hong Kong who are preparing for a 30-kilometer trail run in a couple of days. So this session is all about prepping our body mostly for the core and the legs muscles. And then the other half of our class will be opening our hips. So this will be a 1 hour Vin Yin class. So Vin is a Vinyasa, so power flowing, and then Yin will come down on the mat and maybe using our strap to help our body soften, long stretch. So if it's comfortable for you just to stand with your legs hip width distance, relax the shoulders. We'll just take a few moments to connect to our inner self. So if you like, let's place one hand on the belly, one hand closer to our collarbone. You can keep the eyes softly closed or just focus your eye gaze on one point on the mat. And as you breathe in, feel the belly rise, ribs expanding all the way up to the collarbone. And breathing out, collarbone, chest to the soft belly. Take a couple more rounds of this nourishing yogic breath to settle and connect with your inner self. Feel your face softening, your shoulders relaxing. As you breathe in, we fill our lungs with oxygen. And breathing out, allowing tension and tightness to slowly dissipate. Let's take one more breath here. Breathing in chi and prana. Breathing out, allowing tightness and toxins to disappear. Next inhalation, when you're ready, let's let go of our arms. If you have closed the eyes, let's open our eyes. We're coming to just some warm up from our toes all the way up to our head. So again, standing comfortably, we start with standing on our toes, maybe starting with your right leg. So stretching, feeling each of the toes stretching, and then standing on our heels, so feeling our calves, the back of the legs, a gentle stretch. And then continue with this leg, and we just gently do some small circles in one direction of our ankles and then change the direction of the circle. Are you ready? Let's move to the other leg. So standing on the toes, then standing on the heel, and then slowly circulating the ankle, making sure your body is well prepared for the challenging tasks ahead, and then changing the direction. And even those at home, maybe you go for a walk every now and then, it's still a nice way to warm up the body. Let's stand closer together. We rotate our knees in one direction and then changing the direction. Nice. And then coming up on the hips, standing further than hip width distance, let's just rotate now the hips in one direction. And then changing the direction again. Hearing the crackling sound. Very nice. All right, so our lower bodies get a bit of attention. Let's work on our upper body. Let's start with our hands. So let's stretch our hands up, pointing the fingers towards the ceiling, stretching the front of the arms, and then pointing the fingers towards the floor, pointing inward, pointing outward, and then we change the direction. So now the palms facing the face, doing the same thing, having a different stretch in the arms, pointing inward, then outward, and let's release. Nice. And let's do something for the shoulders. So hands on the shoulders. Inhale, bring elbows together, lifting the chin towards the ceiling if it's comfortable for your neck. Exhale down. Let's do one more in this direction. Exhale down. And then changing the direction of the circle. Inhale. Exhale, elbows together. Last round. Nice. Let's do something with the neck. So let's bring our chin towards the ceiling, stretching the front of the neck, but not allowing the shoulders to flare up. Inhale, bring chin towards the throat, keeping the shoulders down. And then inhale back to the center. Let's bring it right ear to the right shoulder, stretching the side of the neck. Inhale, center to the other side. Beautiful. Inhale back to the center. Let's now bring the shoulders to the ears. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and relax. One more. Inhale, lifting, hold, and release. Beautiful. So the whole body gets some attention. And now let's, I want to work on our core strength and build up our strong legs muscles. So we'll start with standing to the front of the mat. So standing further towards the front of the mat. We'll do some high lunge, moving into warrior one and chair pose. So when you're ready, inhale. Let's bring our arms towards the ceiling, but without lifting the shoulders. So shoulders are still kept away from the ears. One more breath in here. Actually, I'll work on this side. Start from this side. You stay where you are. I'll bring our blocks towards the front. So inhale, lifting. So when we lift our arms, the idea is to increase the space between our ribs, but not lifting the shoulders. One more breath. And then next inhalation, we step our right leg towards the back of the mat. So lifting our right heel. So right heel is lifted. And yes, the front knee is 90 degrees bent. So this is high lunge. Draw the belly button in. Strong legs, strong arms, strong core. One more breath in here. And then inhale, let's bring our arms towards the front. Bring the palms together. We slide the right arm across the other arm, then open up. Like opening the book. Exhale, closing the book back. So bring the arms back together. Next inhalation, inhale, opening. Exhale, closing the book. Beautiful. Let's do one more. Inhale, opening the front of the body. Exhale, closing down. Next inhalation, let's bring our arms towards the ceiling, back into high lunge. 2 rounds of breath here. Draw the belly button in. And then when we're ready, we will then extend the front knee. So now front knee is straightened, still lifting our back heel. We come in, grab our block, I should say. Bring the block long way. And you can place your hands on top of the block and then extending the front leg. Bring your chin towards the throat into a half split or pyramid for some people call it. So you can feel a stretch in the back of the leg here. 2 rounds of breath. Surrendering here, breathing into the back of the leg. Next inhalation, when you're ready, inhale, lifting ourselves back up into high lunge. So the back heel is lifted. Now front knee is 90 degrees bent. Beautiful. We'll come from here into warrior two. So back heel is now on the mat, opening up into warrior two. So extend the arms along the shoulders. So the front knee is still 90 degrees bent. Extend the arms, so arms, yes, along the shoulder. And we keep our eye gaze towards the front middle finger. So feel the energy from one end of the hand to the other. Strong warrior, so no fears when you're in the mountain. Hopefully there's no bear. And keep breathing here. Draw the belly button in. Strong core. One more breath. Beautiful. Next inhalation. Inhale, lifting our arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, bending back down. We do a transition here 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bending down. Last round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Very nice. From here, we keep the front knee bent. We stretch towards the front, stretch until we can't stretch anymore. Then bring the front block in the inside of the ankle. One hand on there. The top arm, we circulate up into an extended side angle. We keep our eye gaze towards the raised hand. Very nice. Keep drawing the belly button in towards the spine. One more breath in here. And then exhale, let's lift ourselves back up. We transition. So bending the knees, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bending down. Let's do 2 more rounds of this transition. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Very nice. From here, we'll come into triangle pose. So now our front knee is straightened. Back heel is still on the mat, and then we stretch towards the front leg. Straight, 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 stretch. And then one hand on the block, top arm circulate into triangle pose. So you feel the side body, you feel the legs, strong muscles. And keep gazing towards the raised hand. One more breath in triangle pose. Next inhalation, when you're ready, lifting ourselves back up. We transition again 3 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bending down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, bending down. Last round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bending down. And from here, let's straighten the front knee. And then top arm towards the ceiling, reverse warrior. So we keep gazing towards the raised hand. That's it. So keep feeling the stretch in the side body. And keep drawing the belly button in. Beautiful. One more breath in here. Next inhalation, when we're ready, let's come and bring our back leg towards the front again. Step the back leg back into the front. And then release the arms. Beautiful. How are we feeling? Strong core, yeah? Strong energy. So this is one side. We'll now move to the other side. So I step this way. You stay where you are. And if you need a break anytime, if you think that's enough, so keep the block where it is, where they are. If you need a break, you can come down. No need to work yourself too hard. When we're ready, so standing in the front, strong legs here. Inhale, lifting our arms towards the ceiling without lifting the shoulders. One more breath. Next inhalation, stepping our left leg back. So left heel is lifted, front knee is 90 degrees bent in our high lunge. Beautiful. Keep drawing the belly button in. One more breath. And when we're ready, let's bring our hands together in the front. Inhale, let's slide the left arm across, opening the book. Exhale, inhale, closing the book 2 more times. And feeling your legs engage. Inhale, closing. Exhale, opening. Very nice. Closing the book again, and then hands back into high lunge. One more breath. And then extending the front knee, hands on the block into pyramid pose. You may need to bring the block closer to your front foot. The back heel is now on the mat. So pyramid, bring your chin towards the throat. We surrender here. 2 rounds of breath, feeling the back of the front leg is stretched gently. Next inhalation, when you're ready, let's lift ourselves back up into high lunge. So wobbly. So high lunge here. One more breath. And then we come into warrior one. So back heel is now on the floor, opening the arms along the shoulders, keeping the front knee 90 degrees bent. Arms along the shoulders. Let's face towards the front middle finger. That's it. So warrior two, strong core, strong energy flowing from your tips of one hand to the other. Nice focus. When we're ready, we transition. So inhale, lifting arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, bending back down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bending down. Last round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bending down. And then from here, we come into extended side angle. So stretch, keep your front knee bent, stretch, stretch, stretch towards the front until you can't stretch anymore. Then bring the block in the inside of the front ankle, circulate the top arm, and follow your eye gaze with the raised hand into our extended side angle. Beautiful, very nice. One more breath in here. Then inhale, lifting ourselves back into transition. Inhale, arms together, straighten the knee. Exhale, bending down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Last round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bending down. From here, we move to triangle pose. And now we straighten the front knee first. And then stretch to the front. Stretch, stretch, stretch until you can't stretch anymore. Then one hand on the block, top arm, we circulate back. So triangle pose, every part of our body is engaged. All our muscles are feeling this stretch here. Side body, arms and legs. One more breath in here. Next inhalation, let's transition again. So inhale, bring arms together. Exhale, bending down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bending down. Last round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bending. And then we move to reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg, top hand towards the ceiling, and stretch, looking over towards the raised hand. Beautiful. Stretching the other side of the body. One more breath in here. How are we going with time? Nice. Next inhalation, when we're ready, we will step the back leg towards the front of the mat. So inhale, lifting. Let's bring our hands in the, and a little back bend at the top is optional. And then exhale, opening the arms. Let's bring our hands in prayers. If you like, just close down the eyes just for a couple rounds of breath. Have your thumbs touching the heart center. Sensing your breath. Every part of your body is engaged and finding the strength in yourself. Now in our transition into a balanced pose. When you're ready, next inhalation, let's open our eyes, open our arms. Beautiful. So we'll go into the mountains, so lots of trees. So I thought we'll do some tree pose. So tree pose is a great posture that, again, engage every part of the body. It's a balancing pose as well. So it's about focusing the mind and the body in one union with our breath. So when we're ready, let's have solid foundation. So prepare ourselves for tree pose. We come into mountain pose first. So standing on your heels, the knuckles, and then spread out your toes, feeling every toe is engaged and grip into the mat. From here, let's place our hands on the hips. We'll prepare. So inhale, exhale, bending down, get close to the earth. Exhale, let's slip your right leg up. Let's do a few more times. Inhale down, same leg. One more time. Focus your eye gaze on one point to keep you focused and balanced. And then from here, when you're ready, let's bring your sole of the foot pressing into either below the knee, above the knee, but not on the knee joint itself. So yes, that's good. So press your foot into the standing legs. That's it. So tree is strong trunk. Hands can continue to be on the hips. So if you like, hands can be in prayers. Let's draw the belly button in, engage your core. Focus your eye gaze on one point on the mat in front of you. So stay here if you like, or if you want a little challenge, but you don't need to challenge yourself too much. If you feel that you like to try, you can grow your tree tall. Beautiful focus. Keep breathing into your belly. Slowing down your breath. Focus all your awareness on your breath. One more breath in here. Next inhalation, when you're ready, lowering the hands. Release the hands and release the leg. Beautiful. Let's check it out. Well done. And then when we're ready, we move to the other side. So before we move to do anything, make sure we have solid foundation so we can grow. So standing on the heels, standing on the knuckles, spreading your toes, gripping each of the toes into the ground. Beautiful. Then when you're ready, hands on the hips. Inhale, getting down close to the earth. Exhale, lifting your left leg up. Let's do 2 more times and keep your eye gaze on one point on the mat to stay focused. One more time. And then we bring the knee towards the outside first. So we rotate the hip, that's it. And then place the foot either below the knee, above the knee, but not on the knee joint. So come to wherever works well for you, that's it. So then press the foot onto the standing leg. Draw the belly button in, either keep the hands on the hips or hands in prayers. Keep your face soft, keep your shoulders relaxed. And sense into your breath here. Drishti point on one point on the mat to stay focused. Either stay here or if you feel ready, let's grow your tree and embrace the wobble. Let the wind soften our body, but we're strong at the same time. Feel the connection with the mat, with Mother Earth. One more breath in here. Beautiful focus. Next inhalation, when we are ready, lowering the hands. Release the arms, release the legs. Very nice. One last pose for our Vinyasa part before we come down on the mat is our chair pose. Again, we're preparing our body with strong core and strong legs. If you like, actually we'll do this. Let's bring a block and place it long way between our thighs. So you need to stand closer. So have the block long way and your thighs is squeezing the block in. When you do that, you feel your core engage. Just keep squeezing and squeezing. I'll turn this way. So from here, we come into chair pose. So keep squeezing the block. When you're ready, inhale, lifting our arms towards the ceiling without lifting our shoulders. One more breath in here. And then exhale, bending the knees and see if you can sit in that invisible chair. This is chair pose. In Chinese, it's 無影凳, right? So when you check, you should still see your toes in front of your knees. That's it. So keep squeezing. Either keep your hands in here, or if you like, let's bring your hands in prayers. And if you like to stay here, or we involve a side twist at the same time. So if you like, next inhalation, when you're ready, let's bring your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. That's it. So, and keep pressing the hands together in prayers. Either stay here or you can open the arms up and down. Keep breathing to the side body. Keep squeezing the block. Beautiful. One more breath in here. And then exhale. Hands back in prayers. Turning back to the center. Inhale, lifting up. Optional back bend at the top. Exhale, opening up. Very nice. Let's remove the block. Shake the legs before we move to the other side. When you're ready, we'll grab our block again. So squeeze the block in. Squeezing, feel your pelvic floor engage, core engage. When you're ready, inhale, lifting our arms towards the ceiling. One more breath in here. Exhale, sitting in the invisible chair. This time, see if you can sit down a little bit more. Shine your torch. That's how my yoga teacher taught us this pose. She said, imagine you're shining the torch behind your button. One more breath in here. And then if you like, hands in prayers. And check that you can still see your toes in front of your knees. One more breath. Either stay here or if you like to revolve chair, turning your elbow to the outside of the other knee. One more breath in here. Either open the arms up and down if you like, and keep breathing into the side body. One more breath in here. Exhale. Let's bring the hands back to the center and then slowly lift ourselves up. Optional back bend at the top. Exhale. Opening up. Let's remove the block. When you're ready, this completes our Vinyasa part of our yoga practice. Please come down into sitting. Now we'll do some long stretch. So Yin Yoga is all about long stretch, targeting our fascia. So if it's more comfortable, feel free to sit on the block. That might be better with having more height to work with. We'll do a couple posture of Yin, and I'll explain why we're doing what we're doing. So let's extend your legs. So when you're ready, is it comfortable this way for your legs? Yeah, okay. So extending both legs. Inhale, let's lift towards the ceiling, again without lifting our shoulders. One more breath, and then we'll fold forward to our right, which is our right leg. So keep our chin towards the throat. You can bend your knees and maybe get the block to support you. And then we'll be here. Normally for Yin practice, we hold each posture for 3 minutes. We'll just keep our count our breath, 10 breaths in each pose here. So keeping our chin towards the throat, keeping the back of the neck long. So this wide-legged forward fold, we are interested to extend the fascia along the back of the legs. So this is the urinary bladder meridians related to the water element, the kidney functioning, about filtering toxins, keeping our body healthy and supple. So settle into your breath, keep counting your breath. So Yin Yoga, as a form of yoga, we're interested to release the fascia, the deep connective tissues that wraps around all our joints and ligaments and organs. It is a practice informed by the traditional Chinese medicine, so principles around acupoints, meridians, the energy channels. So different postures target different area of the fascia. Let's keep focusing on our breath when we are holding each posture in stillness. We fold forward here, we're also creating a cooling and calming effect in the body. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath in here. And no rush at all. When you have finished the second round of breath, next inhalation, when you're ready, let's slowly unfurl up, keeping your chin towards the throat as you slowly round yourself up. And then let's open our arms. Inhale. And then exhale, hands in prayers. Before we move to the other side, let's remove the blocks. Let's not sit on the block. We'll do some windscreen wiping breath so bending the knees, feet are on the floor, hands by the side of the buttock. Inhale, center. Exhale, dropping both knees to the right, facing the left shoulder. That's it. And then inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale to the other side. That's it. Let's do one more round to each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. So breathing into the hips and the side body here. Nice. Inhale, coming back to the center. We'll stretch to the other side. So if you're more comfortable sitting on the block again, and then extending the legs, using blocks to support your knees if you need to. Okay. When you're ready, inhale, lifting our arms towards the ceiling, and then we fold forward towards the left leg. So rounding the spine, keeping your chin towards your throat. We stay here for 10 rounds of breath. So Yin Yoga is a form of yoga. It's a more passive form of yoga. We're targeting the feminine side of the energy, so that's why it's called Yin. It's more nourishing. We need both the sun and the moon. We need both the masculine and feminine energy. So we have the Hatha to strengthen the body, increase our mobility. And now in Yin, we need the nourishment, the deep, long stretch to allow the body to soften. And as a form of yoga, we are not just interested in the physical side, which is the deep stretch, but also the mental side, preparing our mind to stay still. It's a meditative form of yoga. When our mind is not moving, when our body is not moving, our mind may be rushing still. So one of the ways to train our mind to stay still is by getting something for it to focus on. It's our breath. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath in here. There's no rush at all. When you finish your second round of breath, next inhalation, when you're ready, slowly unfurl up, but keeping your chin towards the throat as your head is the last to lift. And then when you're ready, inhale, lifting our arms up. Exhale, hands in prayers. And then let's do 2 rounds of windscreen wiping before we come on to lying on our back. So feet on the floor, hands by the side of the body. Inhale, exhale, dropping the knees to one side, facing the other shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, the other side. Last round to each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Beautiful. Actually, before we come into lying on our mat, let's bring the feet together, knees wide. Again, if it's more comfortable, sit on the block and use the block to support your knees. So our legs are now in butterfly position. So feet together, dropping the knees wide. And then let's bring our hands on the outside of the feet and then keeping our chin towards the throat into butterfly forward fold. This stretch our inner legs. Don't need to force ourselves into the posture. We stay here for 10 rounds of breath. When we fold forward, we create a cooling and calming effect on the body. Let's see if you can slow down the breath, sensing your breath along the back side of the body. You can either keep the eyes softly closed or focus your eye gaze on one point, allowing the mind to settle. If you find that your mind is busy with thoughts or to-do lists, you can visualize a little basket right next to your mat, so that anytime a thoughts come in, you can pat those thoughts on that visual basket and then focus all your awareness back onto your breath. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath here in our butterfly position, sensing a gentle releasing of tension in our inner legs. Once you have finished your 3rd round of breath, the next inhalation, slowly unfurl, lifting your vertebrae one at a time, and then next inhalation, inhale, opening the arms, lifting the chin towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands back into prayers. Beautiful. Let's come into lying on our mat. You would need the strap. So we'll do some work to open our hips. And that should be quite a good preparation for the challenge ahead. So grabbing your strap. And we'll bring the strap on the arch of your right foot. Hold the strap in 2 hands and then slowly come into lying on your back. You can keep your left leg relaxed by allowing the left foot to flip to the side. Next inhalation, when you're ready, let's bring your right foot towards the ceiling. So holding the strap without lifting your shoulders, without lifting your head. We stay here for 10 rounds of breath. You can either close down the eyes and feel a gentle stretch now in at the back of your leg. Left leg is relaxed. And this is also a great posture after the run, after the challenge. When your legs are so tired, lifting the legs up, maybe using the wall if you don't have a strap at home, allowing blood to flow back to your heart and the head. It's a great way to release any tension in our legs muscles and help with circulation as well. Slow down your breath here. Check that your shoulders are relaxed, so not allowing the shoulders to lift towards the ears, and relax your face. Next inhalation, when you're ready, let's now bring both straps into your right hand. So holding the strap in your right hand, let's place your left hand on the left hip. Next inhalation, we will slowly bring our right leg towards the right side on the mat, on the floor. So opening your right hip to the side. And once you find the comfortable spot between effort and ease, let's focus all your awareness on your hips, on your breath. 3 more rounds of breath in here. When you finish your third round of breath, next inhalation, when you're ready, let's bring our right leg back towards the ceiling. Holding the strap in 2 hands and slowly guide the right leg back on the mat. You can let go of the strap. Let's place your hands on both hips. And can you sense the warmth in your right hip? And you may sense that your right leg is longer than the left leg. We just limit blood flow to the right hip joints. And now after we come out from the posture, this is when fresh blood and oxygen would rush back to the right hip joints. That's why you may feel that warmth in your right hip. When the sensation of this stretch has dissipated, we move the strap to the arch of the left foot. So hold the strap in 2 hands, allow the right foot to relax. Next inhalation, let's bring your left leg towards the ceiling. Hold the strap in 2 hands, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. And we'll stay here for 10 rounds of breath. And sensing if this side feels any differently than the other side. Finding the balance between effort and ease, where in each pose we feel the stretch, but never in any discomfort or agony. Allowing time, patience, and for some postures, gravity to help the body soften. Bring suppleness to our joints and ligaments and fascia. Healing where our body needs healing. And once you have finished your 10th round of breath, and there is no rush at all, once you have finished your 10th round of breath, let's hold the strap now in the left hand. Bring your right hand on the right hip to stop you from rolling to the left side. Next inhalation, slowly dropping the left leg towards the left side. Sensing a gentle opening of your left hip, but not rolling, not lifting your right butt cheek up from the mat. Keeping your face soft, release the tension between your eyebrows. Relax the corners of the mouth. And slowing down your breath, allowing the breath to be directed towards the soft belly. Once you have finished your 10th round of breath, next inhalation, when you're ready, let's slowly lift your left leg back towards the ceiling. Hold the strap in 2 hands, slowly lower the left leg down, all the way down on the mat. You can let go of the strap and let's place the hands on the hips again, and now sensing the left hip joints, the warmth generating from the stretch. And you can let go of the strap, and we finish our yin posture. You can stay where you are. We'll just give you maybe about 5 minutes of relaxation. Yoga, in the Sanskrit word, it has a meaning of yoking, which is about bringing union between the body and the mind. And the bridge of this union is our breath. Hence, whether we are in Hatha, our physical postures of movement, or in Yin Yoga, the long stretch, and now in Shavasana, our resting posture, we are always mindful of our breath. As you rest here in Shavasana, let's follow your breath and follow it with curiosity. As you breathe in, the cool and dry air enter the nostrils. And this air mass moving down into the throat, collarbone, chest, into the lungs, and all the way down to the soft belly. As you're about to breathe out, feel the diaphragm pull down and this air mass moving up from the belly into the lungs, chest, collarbone, up through the throat and out as warm and moist air out through the nostrils. Let's enjoy our freedom, the freedom of our breath, the breath of life, nourishing, calming the body, and stilling our mind. Shavasana, you allow your body to relax, and sensing the support from Mother Earth. Feeling your toes, your ankles, the calves, the knees and thighs, and the hips. All of your lower body relaxing, releasing, sensing your fingers, wrists, lower arms, elbows, upper arms, and the shoulders, releasing, relaxing. Sensing your stomach, your chest, and your shoulders, releasing, relaxing. Sensing your lower back, mid back, upper back, and the shoulder blades, releasing, relaxing. Sensing your throat and the neck, the jaw and lips, the cheeks, the nose, ears, the eyes, temples, forehead, the crown of the head, the back of the head, the back of the neck, releasing, relaxing. whole front side of the body, releasing, relaxing. The whole back side of the body, releasing, relaxing. And the whole body is completely relaxed. Let's bring your awareness now back to your breath and to your physical body. If you have drifted off to sleep, it is now time to be awake from Shavasana, from our short meditation. Let's wriggle your fingers. Take your time, wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. No need to rush to get up. And sensing how your body feels now. And then when you're ready, let's hug the knees into the chest. Rocking from side to slowly come up. You can face the front. Let's bring hands in prayers, thumbs touching the heart center. Let's keep the eyes softly closed just for a couple rounds of breath. Let's say thank you to yourself for coming to our yoga practice this afternoon and coming to our Kiyu house. We are so grateful to have your presence here, sharing this space and this time with us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Namaste, Greg. Rick. Namaste, wow. Thank you for joining me. Namaste just means I bow to you in Sanskrit. Thank you.